Hey guys, good morning. Unit 3 begins today, and as you can see, I'm not in the classroom. So, for the foreseeable, Unit 3 is going to be conducted through video lessons. It's going to have a lot of similarities to uh, asynchronous learning for COVID for the immediate. Probably going to be doing a lot of digital stuff, but I wanted to walk you through some basic stuff and kind of give you a quick update. So, Unit 2 has ended as of yesterday. It got pushed back because of all the snow days. Today is February the 5th, which is officially, quote unquote, the beginning of the next unit. So all remediations should have been completed last class period. I've already graded those and updated the grades, although I do believe at this point SIS is closed, so you guys can't see those. If you scored higher, your grade got updated to that grade. If you did not, I kept the higher of the two grades between the summative and the remediation that you completed. Okay, from this point forward, the remediations are unpublished. If you change your mind and you decide that you want to do the remediation, you'll only have the first 2 weeks of this coming quarter to do that, and you'll have to email me direct to inform me that you want access, and I can provide you access to those. Okay, more on that here in a couple minutes. So, Unit 3, the folder has been published. Okay, so you'll see this folder. It's largely the same as the ones we've had before. We have the slide deck folder, activities, resources, summatives. There's a new folder down here, which is the Unit 3 videos. For the foreseeable right now, this is how you guys are going to be getting your lessons. So the first thing you should do each time you open up Schoology is check to see what the videos are here with instruction or lessons or any kind of guidance or anything like that. You should have received an email with a link to this video once I've completed it. You'll also find a link to this video once it's completed in this folder, as well as the first day's lesson, which I'll record here in just a bit. Some of the differences, obviously, we've been mostly hard copy for activities up to this point in the class. This quarter is going to be mostly digital, just to kind of simplify things. That way I don't have to have someone bring assignments from the school so that I have to grade them and return them to you guys. So you're going to still do assignments for grammar, for vocab, a couple of paragraph responses, but it's all pretty much going to be digital this time. You'll notice in the resources folder, we already have some articles. This unit is all about food writing, so we're mostly going to be reading smaller articles, maybe a couple of essays. You'll find all those here in the resources folder. There's nothing in the summatives just yet. I will tell you a little bit about those summatives here in a second, and then once obviously once I get them finished, they'll go there. But you'll see them appear at some point, and then the Unit 3 video folder. So I want to show you guys the guide to success hasn't been posted in this yet, but I wanted to kind of give you kind of a look into it. So this is actually a larger, more in-depth planning document. I don't know if I'll give you guys a copy of this. This is what I use to plan most quarters. I write out something like this. This quarter is going to be very interesting for scheduling wise. Obviously late start, right? So we're here, if you're watching this video on the day that I recorded it, then we're here at the 5th on a Thursday, right? The first 3 days were 2 hour delays and or snow days and various things, and obviously we really didn't have that much school last week. The 5th and the 6th are also 2 hour delays, so they're going to be shortened days. Essentially, I'm going to do the timer for remediations. If you change your mind, I'm going to say the 2 weeks actually starts on the 9th and goes from the 9th to the 20th. So if you wish to do remediations, you change your mind, remember you can only do a remediation once, and you can only do a remediation for an assignment that you actually submitted. Otherwise, you won't have the opportunity to remediate it. So that timeline will be from the 9th to the 20th. So anytime during that time, if you shoot me an email, I can get you access to that on an individual basis. Okay. But we're going to go ahead and get started here. So Unit 3 is going to be all about food writing, nonfiction narrative, which is a type of writing that is popular, but I think not covered as much at the high school level, which I think is a shame. It's a very interesting type of writing where you are writing nonfiction text. You're writing about real, true things, but you're ensuring that they have a video, or not a video, sorry, a narrative to it. So it's almost like a documentary style of writing. And we'll talk a little bit more about what food writing is in the lesson video. But here's the plan right now. The quarter starts today. We have an initial lesson that I'm going to be recording here in just a bit. And then on day 2, we go into a little bit more depth. You guys are going to have your first paragraph response with that lesson. We'll also begin grammar. Day 3, we'll have another grammar warm up, and again, we can continue on with this theme of we start by looking at some types of food writing. You guys will read some types of food writing, and then we'll start to break down the characteristics of that food writing so that eventually you will be writing it. You'll be doing this kind of submission of an article of a nonfiction writing. And then I want to call your attention to academic advising. All right, I'm hoping that I'm back by this time, but that's uncertain at the moment. So the 26th and 27th, and I want to say that it's the 27th. I believe this Friday is the odd day of that week. I'll have to double check it. Is academic advising. On that day, the sub will be taking you guys down. If I'm not there, the sub will be taking you down to the College and Career Center, and that's the day that you'll be picking classes, all right, for next year. So as you can see, these first couple weeks, we'll only get one lesson in this week. We will get 2 in, and then we have some holidays and teacher work days, and then academic advising. So this is going to be a fairly short and quick quarter. So I really urge you to make the most of the time that you have in class. Please watch the videos. Please keep ahead of things. We're going to be at the end of the quarter real quick, and I don't want you guys to miss out and have a lot of missing assignments and things. All right. I've pretty much figured out the entire quarter, but I'm not really going to go necessarily into the stuff in March just yet. I may or may not be in the classroom at that point. This is the guide to success. This will get posted sometime in the next 24 hours or so once I get it approved. So we have the quarter 3, general, we're talking about food writing. These are all the assignments you're going to have. We're going to have 2 grammar assignments. I will talk more about grammar during day 2 as you guys will be beginning it. For this quarter, we're actually going to be doing sentence diagramming, which is a very old school style of grammar approach. It's more graphic and visual in breaking down the parts of a sentence. You will have a couple of paragraph responses this quarter. They're going to be structured slightly differently, as in the responses will be less explain to me specific things and more what's your take on this, and your goal is crafting a well thought out paragraph in response to a prompt. It's not like with The Martian where at least one of the questions in all the paragraph responses, you were recalling details, and it was a way for me to assess if you'd done the reading. There might be 1 or 2 questions like that here, but it's mostly going to be about trying to put forward the best response that you can. At this stage, I would hope that I don't have to verify that you've actually done the reading and that I can just trust you to knock it out. We will have vocab, mostly food-related vocab, but a few other words. Probably that I think you get the first vocab on day, you don't get it till day 4, so it'll be a bit before you get the first vocab, but they will be largely be coming from the articles that were assigned in class. Your 3 summatives this quarter, you're going to be doing an article about 500 words. More on that later, but you will be submitting that no later than March the 19th. There will be an exam this quarter. whereas last quarter the exam ended up being all about the Martian. This one it's going to be mostly about writing structures, grammar, and vocab and things like that. And then you will do a food project. I haven't gotten all the details of the food project figured out in the rubric and stuff yet, but essentially you will be picking a recipe that you will cook for your family or somebody else, a friend, and having them sharing it with them, and then writing about some aspect of that experience. So that's the idea there, and this is pretty much the quarter. Like I said, it's going to be pretty short, pretty quick. We're losing a lot of days to snow and other things. All right, so this is pretty much the way things are going to go. This is just a short introductory video. This is the first one you're going to get an email for and a link to. If you're watching this on the 5th in class, then the next step is to go down to the first day's lesson. All right.